Hi there, this is Ken. Welcome to the Information Nation. Hey, if you haven't seen it on TV recently, there's a big brouhaha going on between the ladies of The View and Bill O'Reilly over some comments that he made about about Muslims and the 9/11 attack and the mosque. It's quite interesting. I mean, Joy Bear and Whoopi Goldberg got up and walked off the set. They were so upset. Oh my, terrible. It's just terrible. I got a few words for the ladies of The View. There are a lot of things that upset people that they would stand behind, that they would take exception with, and it amazes me. They won't take exception to this mosque. Oh, if you don't agree with this mosque being put up, you're Islamophobic. Oh my goodness, there's something definitely wrong with you. A lot of things upset people. If you're going to take that point of view, ladies, let's look at something. In 1994, the NAACP began a campaign to remove the Confederate flag from all public property in South Carolina. Proponents of the Confederate flag tried to broker a compromise by removing the flag from the State House dome and placing another battle flag near the Southern Soldiers Monument on the front lawn of the State House grounds. The NAACP responded by calling for an economic boycott of South Carolina and by organizing a succession of protest marches. Every year on Martin Luther King Day, thousands march to the State House in Columbia to call for the retirement of the Confederate flag. On January 17, 2000, more than 50,000 marchers rallied at the State House in the largest civil rights demonstration in the South. Does that flag offend you? Gee. NAACP leader calls for removal of Confederate flag display. This is in York, South Carolina. The president of a Western York County NAACP chapter wants a flag that pays homage to the Confederate flag removed from the front of a downtown business. Now, this man who has this in his business is a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, and he's not a racist. He says, "They'll throw you out if you're involved in any kind of racist activities." He flies the flag in honor of his grandfather who fought in the war. He says to fly it anywhere else inside the building, he said, would be a disgrace to his grandfather. And gee, these nice liberal ladies, well, that offends them. The Confederate battle flag offends them. What about the swastika? Does that offend you? Does that offend you? You know what offends me? 3,000 Americans killed on 9/11. Now, I agree they have a right to put up a mosque. They have a right to their freedom of religion, to their beliefs. But to put the mosque 2 blocks away from ground zero would be like the Japanese putting up a temple right by Pearl Harbor. Or better yet, how about the Israelis go to Mecca and put up a synagogue 2 blocks away from Mecca? And you would fight that tooth and nail. You know what your problem is, Whoopi and Joy? You're confused. You're actually closet racists and bigots. And you call us racists and bigots because their mosque 2 blocks away from ground zero offends us. They have over 100 mosques in New York. They don't need another one, at least not in that location. It's a bad move. But apparently that doesn't matter to you. 3,000 Americans killed on 9/11 does not matter to you. 2 airplanes hitting towers in New York doesn't matter to you. people jumping out of the damn buildings to avoid being burned, jumping to their death, doesn't matter to you. All that matters to you is that you're politically correct. You're the problem with this country. Because when Bill O'Reilly brought this up, you walked out. You don't want to hear anybody else's point of view. You just want to walk out. I thought this was called The View. Aren't you supposed to listen to other people's point of view? Discuss it? Barbara Walters got it right. We will never get anything settled as long as people like you, that once you're not getting your own way, get up and walk out. You don't want to talk about it. You want your way and that's it. I'll tell you something. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to Barbara Walters and her show. It's a disgrace to the American people. Now, you have your right to say whatever you want. I'm a veteran, and I'll back your right to say whatever you want because I fought for it. That's what freedom of speech is about. But apparently you don't want freedom of speech for everybody, just for you, just for your point of view. And everybody else, if we don't listen to your point of view and we don't agree 100% with you, you're going to get up and take your ball and go home. That's terrible, Whoopi. Think about it the next time you happen to be down south somewhere and you see a Confederate flag. It may offend you, but it's the history of this country. This man who has a store states, matter of fact, it wasn't even the man who owns a store. While offensive to some community members, others haven't paid much attention to it. All of it, to me, does not symbolize hate, said Rodney Freeman, pastor of Restoration Church South. It is the heritage to some people. That doesn't bother me. Because the flag creates negative impression for some people, Love said, he'd like town officials to do something about having it removed. You know what your problem is? You're racists. You're bigots. You're anti-American. Hey, we're not asking them to give up their religion. We're asking them to move their mosque. It's not a good idea to put it where they want it. It is not a good idea. And it offends a lot of people. Can you understand being offended, Whoopi? And how about you, Joy? Can you understand being offended? But hey, that's just my opinion. This is Ken for the Information Nation. We'll see you next time. Bye.